For the past 10 years, 20 years, 30 years, Nigeria has been having challenges that are beckoning and waiting for answers and solutions. That is why we are bringing to you our program, State of the Nation. And this is going to come up on our flagship program this morning on ITV. I am hereby inviting you to join me, Bola Bakare, your host, on State of the Nation, so that we can hasten the motions that brings national development. It's going to be a regular basis on Tuesdays. Make it a date with me. I'll be there waiting for you, and then we shall discuss Nigeria on an holistic level.
Good morning and welcome back to your lofty program, State of the Nation, where we hasten the motions for national development. And when it comes to national development, what do? We put together situations in place that gives us our government. What do I mean by that? Politics come to the fore. People are being elected into offices to run the affairs of our grand nation, Nigeria. A situation like this is what is happening in Anambra as we speak. It started out since yesterday. It is continuing today due to some itches and glitches along the line. But what we are going to do to you this morning is to give you the bits and pieces of what transpired in Anambra yesterday that created a supplementary case for today, for which INEC has said they are going to carry out the supplementary elections between the hours of 10 and 4 p.m. With me in the studio is none other than an astute scientist, a political scientist, in the person of Mr. Cosmas Uzodimma. My brother, you're welcome to the program.
Thanks a lot, Bola.
Thank you. Thank you for honoring that invite. Thank you for honoring the invite.
Thanks for having me. Really.
Good. As we speak, you are not even, short of the fact that you're a political scientist, you're even a man from that side of the nation.
Well, yes.
So you know the intricacies, the intrigue, the innuendos, all that, all we can think that transpire, you are in the know.
Yes.
That is why we are very sure, Nigerians are very sure this morning that they're going to learn a lot from you in terms of what Anambra is going through, situations that will make us have hypothetical ideas about how do we think this will work out, how do you think it's going to pan out. But the thing is, let's start out from the basics. And where I want to start out from is simple. How is it that there is a low turnout? Because I want to start from the base and we'll move on from there.
Well, you know that at the build-up to the elections,
okay,
there was this security scare.
That's right.
About the activities of unknown gunmen and other issues surrounding them.
Okay.
And a number of killings, especially that high-profile killing of a man of the rank of Akunyele's husband.
Oh,
and everybody will now know that in Igbo land there is a proverb that if a hand breaks the iron, even the woods around will start to shake. If a man like that could be hacked down, and so when somebody gives an ultimatum that don't come out, you know he means business. So everybody will now go back. But we want to thank the elders who intervened.
That's
and
good.
the release by IPOB giving an all clear and asking people to go out en masse and vote. And even at that, I know a couple of people were still not sure.
That's
but
true.
the good thing is there was a turnout.
That's right.
And that peace reigned.
That's what
and that the
counts.
elections, it went on.
Okay.
As scheduled.
Thank
Yes.
you. Thank you very much for that, your intro.
Yes.
Now we can afford to move on. We've talked about the electorate that they've been kind of, don't let us use the word disenfranchised. They were scared, and now their fears have been allayed, and they came out, not totally in their numbers, but the essence is they came out to exercise their franchise by voting.
Yes.
Now let's move on and talk about, there are a lot of political parties really, but let's talk about the four majors, the ones that have numbers that we can deal with.
Yes.
We talk in terms of APGA,
yeah.
we talk in terms of PDP, we talk in terms of APC, and we talk in terms of YPP.
YPP,
Not that we don't want to talk about the others, excuse me, but we're concentrating on the ones that have numbers that we can juggle.
Yeah, sure.
As we speak, elections is not complete in Anambra. Little wonder we have a case of supplementary election that is going to happen today by 10 o'clock. But based on what has transpired earlier, within the 21 LGs of Anambra, we've been able to accrue 18 LGs. What we are looking at here is, let's look at some technicalities that borders on numbers. I want you to go into that.
Yeah.
That we are going into a supplementary election today. Fair and good. The man in Abga, Soludo, leads everybody with over 103,000 votes. The next man of PDP has about 51,000 votes. The third man of APC has about 40-something thousand votes. It trickles down along those lines. But if we factor in the fact that the ELA LG has 148,000 eligible voters. In other words, it creates a situation where INEC cannot declare anybody the winner, because the margin of error is there. If you add 148 to anybody, the person will beat
Sure.
the leader of the group.
Yeah.
But at this stage, we're close to the end of it. Even if we have a situation of, say, somebody wins maybe enough votes to top Soludo, we will still have a problem on our hands, because that element of 25% of 2/3 wouldn't have been satisfied. What are the things you are looking at as a politician, as somebody from that side of the country? What are we hypothetically though? What are we looking at that can transpire in ELA local government?
Well, I think that there are three scenarios.
Okay, let's hear them all.
One, those who are, trailing,
Yes.
may want to, go all out
Naturally, yes.
to see if they can get all the votes.
That's right.
That is a hypothesis.
Yes.
A second hypothesis is that the people of Ihiala would not want to be. They have seen the handwriting on the wall.
Yes.
Abga is almost like running away with the election.
That's right.
And so, the Nigerian political scenario is the one where everybody wants to Me Tooism. Let's not be disenfranchised when this governor comes into office. If we already we have seen that this man is coasting home to victory.
That's right.
Why not all of us go in and move?
Follow him.
And in America, it's what is called depression. You've seen that these people are winning. What's the need coming out again?
That's true.
The other party will say, why are we coming out again? What are we going to do? It was like the Reagan situation.
Right. But in our own case here in Nigeria, like you already posited, some of those other candidates will be working hard to make sure they come out and then be able to usurp the leader.
They'll be working hard. But if you give it to the people,
okay,
the trend, except some other hand enters into it.
Don't rule that out.
Yes, except that, which we're not ruling out. But under normal temperature and pressure of the political situation.
Yeah, that's right.
Number one, those who are hot for other party, the tendency is they will say no need. Okay. They'll be discouraged. And some of them those who are apathetic may say, we better go and give this man the vote so that Ihiala will also benefit from the infrastructure and amenities and the trappings that will come after this man wins election.
That's true.
So it's like they are luckier in somehow. We've seen where this man is going to. We better quickly join the
group and then make good with it.
So these are the issues that are going to, these are the interplay of factors that are going to take place in that election. But the other extreme is where another party will now say, okay, let us find a way to use underhand methods, maybe find a way to manipulate the elections, which we can't easily
rule out.
We can't rule out
because
yes.
we are Nigerians.
Yes, yes.
We are a peculiar people.
Peculiar
people.
Yes.
And then they say there's always a tendency that we learn from our experiences.
Yes.
In some cases, we learn the bad ones from experiences and propagate it again.
There
are instances of closed shaves like this that went against the hypothesis of the people.
Yes.
So, like you rightly said, we are not ruling this hypothesis out.
But my guess is that there's going to be people there's a lot of people. The opposite party voters are going to be, you know, there's going to be a kind of disillusionment, and they may not even come out to vote. And the other people are energized. The supporters of ABGA are energized to do more, except any other thing happens. That is what is likely to happen. That's what normally happens in political situations.
That's right.
Yes.
That's right. In a few hours, we'll get to know where we're going.
Yes.
As much as the element of the situation being peaceful, even the commissioner of police in Anambra State, Cheng, said he can beat his chest that the elections was good to go. The level of insecurity was at a very, very low ebb. But at the same time, there was this case that happened in Orumba local government, where there was a discord between the officers of INEC, where the man said the collation officer and the returning officer therein, they were at loggerheads. The man said he was tear gassed, he was forced, his name is Michael Otu. He said he was forced to sign this. As much as we're proud of saying, okay, the Anambra elections was good to go, the element of insecurity breaches was on the low side, but we still had that in Orumba. And what the man said was, he was tear gassed, he was victimized to sign that paper. When are we going to lose this kind of politics at all costs?
I believe that we are growing. It's a learning curve.
That's right, work in progress.
It's a work in progress.
Okay.
You know, at the end of the day, what you're going to look at is percentage.
Naturally,
you know, most of those who score first class in schools don't get 100%.
No.
And they normally get 80%, 85%, and you get a first class.
That's right.
If out of 21 local governments, and one man is the one shouting and saying there was an incident, which we should not overlook.
That's true.
But what we are going to do is if we scored 90% in Anambra, then there was this 10% we're going to work at it to make sure. It also happened in Imo State in the case of Okorocha's election.
That's right.
When the returning officer said he was forced at gunpoint.
At gunpoint.
And it triggered a number of legal cases and other things like that.
Yes.
But the issue he didn't say is, what we were forced to sign, was it the result or not the result? That's the gap.
That's what we have to look at closely.
What were you forced to sign?
Sign.
You didn't say, this is not the result. You simply say, I was forced to sign it. You know, you should clear the other field, clear the other hop. Look, this is not the result. And what you have, I was forced to sign. But they don't always say that. They always say, I was forced to sign a result, which makes it incomplete.
Like you rightly said, INEC said they were going to look at that situation closely, based on what you just said.
Exactly,
now.
yes.
They are going to look at the technicalities.
Yes.
Did you sign the result?
Yes.
Or did you sign a result you did not verify?
Yes.
Because the counter lady was saying the man they brought, the Michael Otu was not good on the job. He doesn't know anything. That's why he's complaining. But these are political statements that INEC is going to take.
We can't take their words for it.
We can't take their words for it. Because at the same time, there was this other anomaly too in that area where a PU, a collation officer, said there are people that are called SPOs. That is supervising presiding officers.
Yes.
One acclaimed that the SPO came and took away the result sheets, 41 result sheets in 42. You see, these are situations INEC said they're going to look into.
Yes.
But like I said earlier, when are we going to lose this politics of at all cost?
Yeah, it is like John F. Kennedy said, that politics, democracy, is something that must go hand in hand with education.
Naturally, yes.
It must go hand in hand with education. And the less people are educated, the more democracy is imperiled.
That's true.
And another thing is hunger. When people are hungry and they see government as a place for primary accumulation of wealth,
okay.
so people will continue to see election as war. And, a political party as a deliberate, coalition of dubious people. People who want to, strange bed fellow, who all they need is, how do we have access to the government till? And by that time it's a problem. But as the time, as we make progress, like the Anambra election is showing, that we have in fact, we've really been making progress. We've been making progress. What has been the problem in one time or the other is the questionable court rulings, which often
which creates situations where some states are off season.
Some states are off season, really. But if you look, really, there have been, the people have been, kind of protecting their mandate now.
That's good.
Like I had a story in here also where election has not even held, and they saw somebody with the papers, and the people gathered together and mobbed, even though that was wrong. Mobbing is wrong. But we're looking for where the legal and security process should be so clear that when somebody is brought or reported, that they take action. It is when there is failures and that people begin to take the laws into their hands.
That's true.
That's what I believe. Yes.
Thank you for your insights.
Yeah.
We cannot fail, but let's go back a little bit and look at that technicality which we tidied up a little bit, Ab initio. And that was the technicality of 25% of 2/3. The arithmetic culminates into there are 21 local governments. Then we are looking at a situation where the winner has to have 25% of 18 LGs.
Yes.
The hypothesis we were talking about earlier, I don't want us to have a situation of 1979 where we're trying to work out what is the 2/3 of a human being. You remember?
Justice Showemimo.
No, what is the 2/3 of a human being?
And where he said, don't use this as a precedent. So you are wrong. He warned you that thing.
Yeah, he warned me that day, but
he said, don't use this.
I'm saying it again.
As a precedent. We watched we were all young then, and we observed it.
We observed it because it was good to go, because it was a lesson in itself.
Back to the 25% of is a tricky case.
Very tricky.
If somebody in here gets 100,000
votes,
and the other parties share the remaining, and he moves, for instance, you carry the 100,000 votes into 58,000 votes. You get 158,000 votes.
And he will beat the
and the issue of 25%, note, it is 25%. Yes. It's very likely, maybe the PDP man or the APC man, they have been scoring 25% of the votes.
No, they haven't.
They
haven't been scoring.
They haven't been scoring. Okay, if it settles it. I've not looked at that intricacy.
What will culminate in a case like that is a case of the runoff.
It becomes, number one, you have the highest number of votes, and this other person has the 25% of the votes cast. Then it leads to a runoff. And it becomes a tricky issue.
It becomes a tricky issue.
It becomes tricky there.
That's why you are here for us, because those are lessons, those are avenues we should not fail to look.
Yeah, we are observers. It's a game, just like people are watching Arsenal, watching Manchester United. That's the way we should look at it. As impartial observers, we don't have. All we need is let the will of the people be done.
That's right.
If there is a genuine thing in Ihiala and 145,000 people come out and vote for one party, and we see it that it is the way it is done.
True.
It is true, and at the end of the day, bingo.
That's right. We take it. Let's take on another factor that was one of the itches of INEC.
Yes.
There is this BVAS.
Yes.
Bimodal Voters Accreditation System.
Yes.
There were news that in some instances, it did not work,
Yes.
that INEC had to revert back to
Yes.
manual.
Yes.
For how long do we continue this? I know
Yes,
technology.
yes.
Technology fails once in a while.
Yes.
But not in a case where it becomes a situation that can be pointed to, that this thing is too rampant.
Yes.
Are we looking at a shortfall in INOC operations in terms of technology?
Well, we would not blame. We shouldn't blame INEC on that, because even the big companies in ICT, they fail. Like yesterday, many calls are made on MTN, didn't go.
Even Twitter, had a
Twitter,
kind of
people, there are downlines, and
yes.
even in America, during the time they were rolling out the Obamacare, it was a shame.
That's right.
It was a shame. So how much more here? So we shouldn't clobber INEC so much for some minor glitches. We shouldn't clobber them at all. For me, it's where we're, and again, I know that the law has not been signed, making this digital electoral process something that's a must.
That's right.
So there is still the gap there. So all they're trying to do is a technology that is coming into, so you have to run it pari passu. Both the digital processes and the manual processes have to be run. By the time we are mature, I think now the law can come. Because if you do a law now, and it's a principle in law, is that it must be obeyed. It must be justiciable. It must be justice. It must be obeyed. And when you've made a law that somebody who has not, a child that has not learned to run, that before you can go from point A to point B, you can run, and the child has not reached the age of rolling. So what kind of law are you making? That's right. So we are in a learning process. We are pushing it. Even WAEC, JAM, at the time they introduced all these computer centers, and many places in the rural areas are coming in slowly, but they're still running it pari passu. We say it's a work in progress. So it's where we should see INEC and commend INEC.
Thank you. Based on this, that we've been able to paint a general picture of what is going on.
Yes.
INEC, in its wisdom, has said we have not released results yet, based on the fact that there is that supplementary elections for today. Let me now take you on, as a political guru, on the hypothesis we've painted before. Let's look at the four gentlemen. Soludo, Ezigbo, the Ubas and the Ubas.
Yes.
The Andy and the
Uba H. That's what you don't know.
I don't know.
A friend of mine said that no, his own Uba has an edge. That is Uba with honor. I say, I don't know. Come on.
Come off it.
Come off it. Uba is Uba. Where is Uba and Uba?
Okay, let's paint that scenario of Soludo, Ozigbo, Andy Uba, and Ifeanyi Uba.
Yes.
From your own perspective, it has been a very fine political shenanigan.
Yes.
Because it was trouble-free, unlike what we were anticipating.
Yes.
But make it your last word. Paint me a short brief about these four men and what you think can pan out. Anything can happen in politics.
Yes.
What do you think about these four men, and what do you think can pan out after today's elections?
Well, I believe that Soludo comes into this game with a very, high level of pedigree, right from the university.
That's true.
And when he was my classmates, we're all schoolmates. When he was the minister for transport, did excellently well. He handled the central bank, and helped Nigeria to withstand the shock of the global financial meltdown.
That's true. That's true.
And he's going to Anambra State to begin to maybe learn the ropes as a politician. And he went down there to do it, which is excellent. Okay. And we believe that a Soludo coming onto the national limelight is going to breed some level of intellectualism and expertise and professionalism in the way policies are made. And Ozigbo also is a crack corporate man who has been successful in handling modern corporate organizations.
That's true.
Which everybody can give it to him. He's done so well, and either of them are good. Obatu has some. We are proud of the Anambra squad.
Okay.
The Anambra squad is good. They have a good squad. They have a good squad. But I think Soludo has heads, and let me say Oba is a successful businessman. That's Oba, Ifeanyi Oba, and Andy Oba being also a doctor and doing so well. But I believe that what I think is they should go further. Anambra should go further and show example and concede.
That's it.
And
that
stop
what I was
putting the nation through the rigor, the anxiety of, we have people are boasting about Supreme Court. And the issue, as far as they're concerned, they should, when you look at the plus minus, look at the errors and look at the successes. And you combine both, and people should show example. Anambra will be demonstrating leadership by conceding, like what Fayemi did during his time. Right. Up to today, Fayemi is respected. He's respected any day. And at the time also he returned. So people should not make this do or die. That's right. And just like Soludo was disqualified formally in the last election, and then now he's up again. And if all things go the way it is, he's on course to being the next governor of Anambra State.
Thank you very much. That has been my brother, Cosmas Uzodinma. We have been able to share his insights. He has been able to tell us bits and pieces of what he knows as a political scientist. And what matters the most is the element of what he just said, that we should learn to imbibe that element of conceding. It's not totally clear-cut. But another word for it is, it's vivid for all to see that there is a winner in the offing. I'm sure other political parties will be able to say, hey, Mr. Bakare, don't say that. You have no right to say that. We have 148,000 votes to cut. But the thing is, it's high time we look at situations where we don't have governors that comes in through the courts, not through the electorate. It is the duty of the electorate to give us our governance. We shouldn't make it a situation where the courts gives us our governance. And like my brother Cosmas really said, it's high time we learn how to concede to ourselves. All the four names are Anambra men. Nobody is from the next state. They are all from that state. So there should be a concession where everybody says, okay, he is my brother, let him go ahead. It's a matter of time. It's not perpetual, it's not eternal. But the thing is, fellow Nigerians, all you need to do this morning is just hold your peace. In a few hours, by 4 o'clock, the elections, because INEC was very tentative that this supplementary election is going to take place between the hours of 10 a.m. and 4 p.m. And it's like it's sacrosanct. Anything after that, they are going to stop. We pray it sails through within those hours, then Anambra can have its own governor that is going to move Anambra forward. Not just Anambra alone. While Anambra is moving forward, Nigeria is moving forward. And you, my fellow Nigerians, I would like to share with you one thing I am going to do to this my brother here. I am going to tell him thank you from our viewers.
Thank you very much.
Thanks for coming.
God bless you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Sam.
And our viewers, don't go away. Our second segment of discussion will take place shortly. Stay with us.
For the past 10 years, 20 years, 30 years, Nigeria has been having challenges that are beckoning and waiting for answers and solutions. That is why we are bringing to you our program, State of the Nation. And this is going to come up on our flagship program this morning on ITV. I am hereby inviting you to join me, Bola Bakare, your host, on State of the Nation, so that we can hasten the motions that brings national development. It's going to be a regular basis on Tuesdays. Make it a date with me. I'll be there waiting for you, and then we shall discuss Nigeria on an holistic level.